What's up, everybody? Back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we are going to be talking about every second round matchup so far through 2 games. Every matchup is now 2 games in. We got a couple game threes tonight. Very excited for it, but I'm gonna talk about every matchup 2 games in, my thoughts about it, and what I think is gonna happen for the rest of the series. Thank you guys for the views on the vids and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you like the content, consider subscribing, like, turn on notifications, also like that. I really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. Also at Twitter at Everyday Hoops, send us in the description below. And yeah, so don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So we'll go West East, West East. So we'll start with the first West second round matchup, the Nuggets and the Suns. 2 games in, the Nuggets won game 1 and game 2 both at home. Game 1, the Suns won by dang near 20, 125 to 107. Jamal Murray had a big game with 34 points. Jokic and Aaron Gordon also chipped in a lot. Bruce Brown had a good game off the bench. And then game 2 was very low scoring. It was 97-87. The Nuggets won. At the end, Chris Paul gets hurt in this game. And Jamal Murray has a bad game, but Nikola Jokic and KCP hit some big shots to help the Nuggets win. 2 games in. We're back in Phoenix tonight. The Nuggets have just been playing really good, and they've honestly looked like probably the best team in the playoffs so far. They look like the best overall team. They haven't had any really struggle bad games, and the one bad game they did have, which I would say maybe game 2 of this series was a bad game, for Denver. But then again, Nikola Jokic still almost had 40, but everyone else wasn't really doing much. They still won that game. The Nuggets just look really, really good right now. Jokic is playing amazing because DeAndre Ayton hasn't really looked that great. It's great when they can have Jamal Murray, who turns up in the playoffs. We all know that he's very important for them to win. Jamal Murray shot horrible in game 2. Jamal Murray was 3 for 15, 0 for 9 from 3, 10 points, and they still won. Like, that's a huge thing. Aaron Gordon has looked really good in this series as well. He does all like the little things on both ends. On offense, gets those easy little cuts. He's not really shooting the ball a lot, but he's getting easy looks. And then defensively, he's got to guard Kevin Durant, which I understand why he's not doing a lot offensively because it takes a lot to guard Kevin Durant. He's doing a pretty solid job at it. KD hasn't had a great shooting series so far in game 2. He shot just 10 for 27 from the field. MPJ had a tough game 2, but game 1 he was hit big shots. And it was kind of replaced. KCP didn't really do a lot in game 1. Michael Porter Jr. did. Then it got flipped. Michael Porter Jr. didn't do a lot in game 2, but KCP hit big shots. He was 4-4 from 3. Huge for him. And they got some contribution from the bench. Bruce Brown has been solid. Jeff Green, Christian Brown has given them some solid minutes. And the Nuggets just look really good on both ends. Defensively especially, they looked a lot better than I thought they were because the Nuggets were kind of like an average defense. They weren't great, but they weren't horrible. They were just like okay defensively. And in this series, they really locked down the bench and they really forced Devin Booker and Kevin Durant to take a lot of shots. Like KD, 24 points, 27 shots. Devin Booker had 35 points on 29 shots, doing stuff like that. But for the Suns, I kind of said it in the last series, but in this series, it's big. They just don't look like that unbeatable Suns team that we saw in the regular season. And a lot of that is their bench is horrible, man. Like, you watch the bench out there. I watched game 2, early fourth quarter. It was Kevin Durant and 4 bench guys, or Devin Booker and 4 bench guys. I kind of forget. The game 2 was a few days ago. But it just looked bad, man. It just looked super bad. And that's when the Nuggets kind of went on a run and took the game. But if you look at back in game 1, the bench, Torrey Craig hit 1 shot. Landry Shamet hit 1 shot. Damian Lee 1 shot. Jack Lando had 7 points. And then Ish Wainwright, Cameron Payne scored, but that was at like the garbage time when they were already out of the game. But yeah, the bench didn't really do much. 24 minutes, 14 minutes, 12 minutes, 10 minutes. Not really worried. And then game 2, it got even worse. Game 2, the Suns bench scored 4 points in that game. Cameron Payne hit 1 shot, 1 for 7, and Vincent Wembanyama 1 for 2. Damian Lee played 26 minutes and actually closed out the game for some reason. And he was 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, -5. Cameron Payne has set 2 points on 1 for 7 shooting. He was -16, the lowest on the team. Torrey Craig, 11 minutes, didn't score. He grabbed a rebound in 11 minutes, -10. Bismack Biyombo, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 3 fouls, -1. Jock Lando played 5 minutes, had a rebound, -9. It was just bad. The Suns bench is bad, and that is half because the players aren't hitting shots, but also maybe because in the regular season, they couldn't really find their bench. I feel like Monty Williams every game is kind of putting out different bench lineups, trying to find something that works. but there's just no really consistency on the bench. Like TJ Warren, I don't think has played as in the series. Darius Bazley's been very disappointing because he got traded and I thought it was going to be a good pickup for the Suns. But honestly, I don't think he played any meaningful minutes for the Suns at all. Landry Shamet didn't play last game. He's kind of on and off. Terrence Ross was supposed to go there, be kind of a scorer off the bench. He really hasn't done anything. Cameron Payne just came back from injury, so it's tough for him to expect him to be really good. And now he's going to have to be the starter because Chris Paul is hurt. We're going to get to that in a minute. Suns bench and the role players have just been bad. It's really just been the KD and Booker show. And the Nuggets are kind of living with it. Nuggets are like, all right, we're just going to double team Booker and double team Durant. And go ahead, Josh Okogie. Go ahead, Damian Lee. Go ahead, Cameron Payne. Beat us. That's what I would do for the rest of the series if I'm the Nuggets, especially with Chris Paul out. They're not going to have as many easy and open looks and don't have another threat. Chris Paul that can hit a couple mid-range shots and close out some games. I would just double Devin Booker and double Durant and force him to take tough shots and be like, all right, go ahead. Josh Okogie, Damian Lee, Torrey Craig, Bismack, go ahead. You guys hit shots and beat us. Because you haven't hit shots all postseason, go ahead. And if they do, they do. Whatever. But that's what I would live for if I'm the Nuggets. I'm doubling Booker, doubling Durant, and showing him everybody and letting the role players beat me. Tonight is a must-win for the Suns. If the Suns don't win this game, it's basically over. They'll be down 3-0, and no one has ever come back from down 3-0. Need big games from Booker and Durant, obviously. They need DeAndre Ayton, man. DeAndre Ayton it's tough. Like, he has, like, glimpses once a game, but he is just not reliable, man. Especially now with Chris Paul out, that can give him easy looks. It's like, what is he really going to do? Like, he doesn't back anyone down. All of his shots are like free throw line jumpers and hook shots. Even when he gets offensive rebounds, sometimes he's dribbling them out for no reason. Defensively, he's not showing. You saw that clip in game one when that clip of him just standing out of bounds, watching Jokic like, he just has nothing, man. He just is not bringing anything to the table. And it's really tough. You know, Suns need to figure something out. Suns just need to hit shots, honestly. The Suns can hit shots tonight. They can win this game. And then for the Nuggets, they need Jamal Murray to be a lot better than Aaron Gordon to keep doing his thing. And honestly, the Nuggets just keep playing the way they've been playing all playoffs. They should easily get to the conference finals. But yeah, the Suns just don't look good right now. We'll go to the East. Heat and Knicks is a 1-1 series over there. Jimmy Butler is injured in this series. Back in game one, Julius Randle missed game one. Jimmy Butler got hurt at the end of game one. The Heat closed it out because Kyle Lowry played a huge factor. He played 30 minutes, 18, 5, and 6, 4 blocks. He was doing all the little things. He was really good. Kevin Love as well, making good outlet passes. Gabe Vincent hitting shots. And the Knicks' late game offense just did not look good at the end of game one. RJ and Jalen were missing shots. Josh Hart was missing shots. It just was tough. And then surprisingly, game two, Jimmy Butler doesn't play, which I was super surprised because earlier came out and said Jimmy Butler wanted to play early that game, so I thought they were going to let him play, but they didn't play. And honestly, I kind of understand it. If you're Miami, you're on the road, and road team's job is to just win, a game on the road. Just try to split the series and go back home. And he did that. Winning game one was huge. So now in game two, they're kind of like, you know what? We took game one. The worst thing that could happen is we lose game two and it's 1-1, going back home. So Jimmy, you're not 100%. You don't have to play today. Julius Randle came back, and Julius Randle played solid. But the thing is, the Heat actually were very close in this game. Everyone thought, Jimmy's out, Julius Randle's playing, this would probably be a blowout. But he actually stayed in it. Caleb Barton had a great game. Gabe Vincent was hitting shots again. Max Strus was doing stuff. But it was Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle kind of closed this game. And Josh Hart as well. Josh Hart played a huge factor in this game. And now it's 1-1 going into Miami. I am very impressed with how the Heat are playing. I assume Jimmy Butler's going to be playing tomorrow. And if he doesn't, that'll be very crazy. But he's going to play tomorrow. Game 3 is a huge game. I mean, whoever wins takes 2-1 series lead. For Miami, I love how the role players been stepping up. Guys like Caleb Martin and Gabe Vincent continue to impress and hit shots randomly, even though they haven't really been doing that in the regular season. They're playing really good. They play with a lot of energy. And the Heat just hustle, man. But the Knicks do too. They found a great match against the Knicks. Also hustle. Josh Hart, probably looking like the best role player in the NBA right now. I mean, he just does everything that you want out of a player on a playoff team. And it's really fun to watch. RJ Barrett has really stepped up a whole ton as well. And now they got Julius Randle back. If he can play like he did back in game 2, he had a pretty good game. That should be bigger than Jalen Brunson. Of course, it's going to be Jalen Brunson. But for Miami, I need Bam Adebayo, man. I need Bam to have a breakout game. Like a 22-12 with 3 blocks. Like, I need a big game from Bam. Because I honestly think if the Heat win this series, it's going to be because Bam Adebayo shows up and is a big X factor. It kind of takes Mitchell Robinson out of the game because Mitchell Robinson's playing very solid so far this playoffs. But they need Bam to step up. I assume Jimmy's going to come back tomorrow and have a big game. But they also still need the guys like Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin and Kyle Lowry maybe to keep hitting shots. And if they do that, they can win the series. But it's really depending on Bam. If Bam could come out and have a big game for the rest of the series, I think they'd be good. For the Knicks, they just need to limit the Miami Heat role players from hitting threes. They need to guard the 3-point line because that's how the Heat love to win games. But also they can't have any late breakdown offenses because they know late in the game it's going to be close. Miami's going to keep in it. If you guys are missing shots, Miami's defense is going to be locked in. So Miami Knicks just need to execute their late game offense right, and they can win this series. But I'm very excited for it. 1-1. I still think the Knicks are going to win this series in like 6 or 7. I would say 6 for the Knicks still. That was my original prediction. But the Heat are making it an amazing series, man. Let's go back out west for Warriors, Lakers, another 1-1 series. In Game 1, Anthony Davis put on an amazing performance with 30 points and 23 rebounds with 5 assists and 4 blocks as well. D'Lo, Dennis Schroeder hit some big shots. And the Lakers won, especially after that Jordan Poole crazy three-pointer. I don't know what that was about. So the Lakers took Game 1. And then yesterday, it was a completely different story. The Lakers just didn't have enough aggression or energy. Anthony Davis, super disappointing. 11.7 rebounds, only took 11 shots. D'Angelo Russell, Roy Hachimura took more shots than Anthony Davis. That cannot happen. Anthony Davis, we've seen it throughout the entire playoffs. He'll have a 30-point game and then a 12-point game. Like, literally, I saw stats from the last few games, and it's like 11, 30, 13, 32. It's like, I don't know, and they have it again, 30 in Game 1, 11 in Game 2. The Lakers cannot afford this, especially against this team. The Lakers cannot afford Anthony Davis to be going 30 and then 11. Like, they need Anthony Davis to be consistently there, and that was the big X factor for the Lakers. Big X factor was if Anthony Davis can be consistently look like the best player on the Lakers and dominate in the paint, no way, no one of the Warriors could stop him. And you saw it in Game 1. He dominated. The Lakers got the win. Game 2, he was just sleepwalking basically out there. The Warriors blew him out. And good thing was if you saw some LeBron moments in the first half, the second half he really slowed down. But the first half, his three-pointer shot started hitting. He was doing good. Roy Hachimura, I don't know who this is, but I don't think this is Roy Hachimura because he is hitting threes like crazy. D'Lo hit some shots. Vanderbilt Wasabi, they need Austin Reeves to be better, and they need AD to really step up. I mean, they had JaMychal Green guarding him. JaMychal Green started because Kevon Looney was very sick, so they brought him off the bench, and he was solid in his minutes. JaMychal Green was solid too. JaMychal Green was getting left wide open, and he was knocking down shots, but he was also getting to the rim, getting dunks and stuff. But they had JaMychal Green on AD for a few possessions, and if I would have saw that if I was the Lakers, I would be like AD post, ISO, AD ISO. JaMychal Green's guarding. AD ISO. But AD was just kind of standing there, and they weren't really giving him the ball. And Draymond, when Draymond got on him, Draymond played an excellent game defensively. He also had a near triple-double with 11, 11, and 9. Classic Draymond game. But the big difference, Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson hit 8 threes, 30 points. In that third quarter, the Warriors outscored the Lakers 43-24. We know about the third quarter Warriors, and they really came to play. And Steph as well. Steph had 12 assists. Steph wasn't looking for a shot. He was kind of finding his own teammates really early in this game. I think he had, 8 assists, 9 assists in the first half. And that was really messing with the Lakers, and you saw it because every time Steph would even look at the rim, the Lakers were two people were looking at Steph, and there was just easy dump-offs to Draymond, easy dump-offs to Kevon, easy passes to Klay in the corner. Like, if Steph is doing that, it's going to be really, really dangerous. We're going back to the L.A. now with the Lakers. The Lakers need Anthony Davis to not sleepwalk. They need Anthony Davis to show up and have a huge bounce-back game, a game like Game 1. They need Game 1 AD back here, but they also need guys like Dennis Schroeder and Austin Reeves and Rory to keep hitting their shots. They need LeBron to be solid as well. But they really just need AD to be out there aggressive. For the Warriors, of course, they need Klay to keep hitting their shots. But I think if they can keep getting Steph Curry to play like this, well, maybe take a little more shots. Steph only took 12 shots today and had 20 points still. He's very efficient, 7 for 12. But if Steph can find the good balance between playmaking while also getting his own, it's going to be very, very dangerous to stop this Warriors. My original prediction was what? What did I have my prediction? I think I had Lakers in 7. I'll stick with it. I'll stick with Lakers in 7. I think it's gonna be very, very back and forth. It's probably gonna be like they're probably gonna spend. I won't be surprised if the Lakers get Game 3 and the Warriors get Game 4. I feel like this is just gonna be a 1-1, 1-1. It's gonna be a very back and forth series with how inconsistent these two teams have been this whole season. But yeah, this series is really living up to it, man. Super, super fun. And now the final series, Celtics 76ers, another 1-1 series. Game 1, the Sixers shocked the world by beating Boston. James Harden looks like he's 2018 again. He puts up 45 points, hits a cold step back 3 out Al Horford to win that game. Tyrese Maxey, Tobias had some big moments with D'Anthony Melton. The Celtics just did not look good defensively. I mean, they were getting to the paint at will in the first half, yet they're only up by 3. In the second half, they just stopped looking at the paint and were just trying to take threes. Didn't look locked in. A lot of just dumb turnovers, trying to draw fouls, and the Sixers capitalized on it. And then game 2, Joel Embiid suddenly comes back randomly, and defensively, he was really good. Defensively, he was altering so many shots, but offensively, he didn't look good. And I thought this game was going to be the Sixers didn't want Joel to be Joel. Sixers just wanted Joel just to guard the paint and maybe get a little offense, but wanted Harden to keep going offensively. And Harden did not have a good shooting day. He shot just 2 for 14, 0 for 6 and 3, had 12 points. And yeah, the bench didn't really provide anything as well. And the Celtics finally looked locked in game 2, even though Jason Tatum had probably the worst game of his career. He had 7 points and shot 1 for 7. When's the last time Jason Tatum made one shot in a game? And the Celtics almost won by 40. Jaylen Brown was huge. Malcolm Brogdon off the bench hit 6 threes. Derek White and Marcus Smart were playing very well. The Celtics hit 23 pointers, and they finally, for the first time I feel like this entire playoffs, they were just locked in, aggressive, with intensity, really wanting to play out there. And that's huge. And now we're going back to Philly in a 1-1 series. I think Joel's going to look a lot better as the series goes on. Joel only took 9 shots in game 2, had 15 points, did have 5 blocks. But I think Joel's still kind of getting used to playing. I mean, you got to remember, that was Joel Embiid's first game in like dating 2 weeks. Because the last game he played before this was game 3 of the first round. He didn't play in game 4. They were the only team to sweep, so they had basically a week off. And then he didn't play game 1. So he hasn't played in like dating 2 weeks. So it's going to only take him a while. He only played 27 minutes in game 2, also because that was a blowout. If it was close, he probably would have played like 35 maybe. But I think game 3 is going to be a lot closer of a game. They need Joel Embiid to kind of turn up a little offensively, but they need James Harden, honestly. They need James Harden to... They don't need 45 from Harden, but they need James Harden to be aggressive and be hitting shots. James Harden didn't really get aggressive till like a little late in the first quarter, and then like there's certain times when James Harden didn't look as aggressive as he was in game 1. He also missed a lot of easy shots that he made in game 1. But James Harden needs to be aggressive. Needs to go out and have a big game offensively. They need Joel to be there. And they just need to be more locked in, honestly. Sixers just kind of were like, we took game 1. We got Joel back. Let's go. We can win this thing. And the Celtics came out and punched them in the mouth. So the Sixers need to be more locked in. They need James Harden to be there. The Celtics just need to keep playing. Celtics need to be locked in. The Celtics can't come into game 3 with the same energy they did in game 1. If that happens again, they're going to lose. Like, the Celtics need to come out and play with this intensity. Of course, the 3 ball is going to be very hit or miss. I expect them to still take a lot of threes, especially with Joel being there now. They're definitely not going to be going to the paint. I mean, they took 51 threes in game 2. I'm expecting something similar in game 3. So the threes are hit or miss, but they just need to keep playing with this intensity. That's what I want. I just want the energy to keep being the same and being locked in defensively. That's where they got to be if they want to win the series. My original prediction was Celtics in 5. My prediction is definitely changed now. Honestly, I like the way I've seen Philly play in this series. You know what? I'm changing my prediction. I'm going Philly in 6 or 7. Philly in 7 is my new prediction for this series. That game 1 gave me a lot of confidence. Game 2, I saw some good things. But I'm going to go Philly win 7 in this series. I don't know. I just got a feeling Philly really wants this. You know? But yeah, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoy. Once again, if you do have the contact, consider subscribing, like, turn on notifications, also like that. I really appreciate it. Really helps out a lot. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.